guys, I'm Tiffany Coulter, and this is the Balanced Life Podcast, and today we're starting the new year with the camera on. I guess I have recorded one or two podcasts already, but we're going to try at least once or twice a month having the camera on so you can kind of see where the magic happens. Over there is my video recording studio, where if you've watched any of my Balanced Life or Writing Career Coach or Decision Tree Learning videos on YouTube, that's where those are recorded. And over here is where I keep my outlines for my books. And that is where I'm doing my coaching work. We've got a lot of things happening in 2025. So let's jump into today's podcast. What I'm going to be talking about today is kind of a mindset thing. But if you want to be more successful, focus on results and not time. I'm not tying this to the new year because I kind of see every Monday as a new starting point for me. And I see every morning as a new starting point for me. If I have just like a completely disastrous day, I just, Control, Delete. Tomorrow starts a new day. I may shut it down for that day and just say, I just got to call today a loss. But I start the next day. I don't, have to reset it the year. I'm hoping that for you, that you will see this podcast as a valuable part of your weekly growth. I hope that you're also using the other free resources that I have. On January 1st, I released a ton of material across my website. So thebalancedlife.com, decisiontreelearning.com for those of you who have school-aged kids from kindergarten to 12th grade, possibly even a little bit into college. And Writing Career Coach, all of my YouTube channels that are tied to those three, all of my socials, all of my everything. I just launched a bunch of material, resources, free downloads, reminders, because I want this time, whatever this time is, whenever you're seeing this podcast, to be about focusing on results, not time. Here's why this is so important. We are trained from a young age. You need to sit down and read 30 minutes a day. You need to sit down and, in your class, you have math for 45 minutes or 52 minutes or whatever it is. You have to go to class or school from this time to this time. Then you go to your after school job from this time to this time, and you're paid this much an hour for this long, no matter what your results are. And we are trained to just exchange our time. However, in business, it's not about the time you spend, it's the results you get. Oh my goodness, my dog is starting to bark. I really hope he doesn't come up right now. It's about the results that you get. So it does not matter if I am spending 10, 15 hours every single day, 6 days a week, working on something, which is what I do some weeks. I don't get paid a minimum. I am only paid when I find the right people and connect them to the right materials that I have the right to sell, and they, share it with other people. And after I've paid everybody else, I'm the last one to be paid. But I have the potential to earn residuals and be paid when I'm not giving my time. And that's what a lot of people want to focus on. They want to get paid for doing nothing, and that's not the reality of what business is. Business or life or whatever you're doing is about, it's kind of like gardening, although I kill every plant known to man. But it's kind of like that. You plant, you put a plant in the ground, you have to water it, you have to take care of it, you have to keep the pests away. You're not, just because you buy a tomato plant, I'm going to use tomatoes because I love tomatoes, but I kill every tomato I try to grow. You can buy a tomato plant. It can be an amazing tomato plant, but if you don't know how to grow tomato plants, if you don't know what to watch out for, what to do when the leaves turn this color versus that, the kind of soil, the kind of light, the kind of water, whatever, then the tomato plant's not going to produce. That's the way it is when we're trying to develop a business. That's what it's like when we're trying to develop relationships, whether with our kids, our spouse, our family, whatever it is. This website, thebalancedlife.com, is about balance. I'm going to be working on some free, courses, some free courses. I'm writing them and I'm starting to record them. There's my whiteboard. Starting to record them right now, and I'm going to be making them available by the end of January, I hope. That's where we're at. We had a couple of setbacks with a couple of our scripts that I was, the notes, not really scripts, but the notes I was writing out. Having some issues with that. We've had some sound quality issues on a couple of things, but I'm working on starting to record those now. And there's going to be 2 weeks worth of lessons. It's going to be about 8 lessons. We've got the handouts already created. It's going to be all uploaded. It's going to be free. And it's all for people who would like to start their own business or who already have their own business and are trying to really approach it from a more professional business, not owning a job perspective. A lot of people own a job, and for years and years and years, I have owned a job. What has changed is I've begun to implement some of the things that I'll be talking about, not only in that course, I'll be talking about on this podcast as well. But I started to focus on the results. I always felt like if I sat down and I spent full-time hours, I would get full-time results. That's what I used to always say. I'm going to spend full-time hours and get full-time results. The problem was I spent more than full-time hours at my office and never got the kind of results that I really, really wanted and needed. And some of that was because I wasn't connecting with the right market. But once I did connect with the right market, the problem was I didn't have my system set up correctly. So like one year, my company brought in something insane, like $60,000 or $80,000. And I say insane because I did not even make $200 per month that whole year. I made like in my actual pocket, what I got to deposit was less than $2,000 that year. I had overhired. I had overcommitted. I had overspent. I had a number of things that I had chosen to do that ended up not like I would. One of them was I would buy books because I was a publisher. Was one of the things I did is I printed books, and my printer would give a discount for volume. And so if my clients were ordering, let's say, 150 books, and at 200 books, there was a discount on price of like 10%. Well, then I would go ahead and order 200 books, even though they only wanted 150 so that I had those 50 on hand. The problem was, when they needed them next time. So I would have them faster. They wouldn't have to wait, and I'd be able to sell them for that original price, and I'd make a steeper margin. Problem was, I did that 3 times, and all 3 times they didn't make a second order. I don't remember the exact amounts of books, but so I ended up, the profit that I got was either eliminated or I wasted money or it was cut down by those 50 books. In my effort to try to earn more money in the future, I never earned money in the present. So there was a lot of mistakes I made, and we'll go over more of those later. But see, my result was in response to my actions. It was not in response to my time. I gave more time than anyone, and I made a fraction of what my secretary made. It's because I didn't have the right results. So this year, starting now and continuing on with the free courses that I'm going to be offering and all the podcasts and all the materials, it's going to be focused on the results that we're getting. Not only what results are we getting, but learning to evaluate the results that we are getting. Learning how to help our team understand if they're getting the right results and how to adapt. One of the things I did just last week, is I created specific metrics for the 2 people who work most closely with me to know exactly where we are and if we're reaching targets. So we have a red, yellow, green designation for each day. Red is if we don't meet it. Yellow is if we're halfway there, and green is if we've met our full metrics. So that my team can open up this spreadsheet, and it's a spreadsheet because it's got columns and dates. So we'll be able to see throughout the course of the year what days we were at, like that we met, and then also which month, because we could have one really great day that turns the whole month green, which means we met our target for that whole month, but all the other days are red. Or we could have just a few days that just barely make it and the others are low, so the whole month is actually below where we need to be. So in having those metrics, we also have targets and goals each month to take us to that. So here's what I want you to consider, those of you who are in business. How much does it cost to earn a single customer or sale? What is the average profit on your sale? Assuming when you take the cost of getting them from the profit, there is still a profit there. How do you usually get those sales? Like, do you have advertising? Do you have networking? Where do the bulk of your sales come? And start to think through where you are getting good results. So that's all I have for you today. Again, I hope that you will make sure and get our newsletter, thebalancedlife.com, where I'll be talking about other things like this, pointing us to articles, but that's also where I'm going to tell you when I have the course completed and recorded with all like I said, I've got the handouts ready. I'm taking somebody through this course, and it's called The Apprentice, and it's on The Balanced Life. So if you go at The Balanced Life, all one word, on YouTube, you should find my channel. You know what I look like now. And you'll see that, and I'm going to have a series of videos called The Apprentice. It's like video diaries where I'm talking about the things that she's learning, and I'll talk about a little bit over here on the podcast as well. All right, guys. I've taken almost 12 minutes of your time, and I appreciate you guys being so generous with it. Please make sure you are taking notes and writing them down. Send me any questions you have, videos you would like to know about, things you would like to learn about. I'll look at incorporating those into my podcasts as well. But for right now, don't be afraid to fail. We all fail sometimes. Just try to fail forward. I'll see you next time.